Hi yogis, this is Julie from Totally Holistic Health, and it's having a little bit of a break since I saw you last. I've been rather busy, so I just thought I'd pop in now and just continue on our journey through the limbs of yoga. So we've covered the Niyamas, which is basically these sort of disciplines, sort of guidelines. We've got ahimsa, asteya, all those ones which we've actually covered. And if you do actually want to go back and have a look at those and start off at the beginning, it's quite nice just to sort of just to start to re-establish yourself with what we actually covered to start off with. So they're your first limb of yoga. The second limb is called the Niyamas. So with the yamas being sort of more sort of disciplines, the niyamas are more sort of observances. So it's sort of guidelines on how you maybe want to proceed with your yoga practice. Now with your yoga practice, it's not all about what's on the mat. So if you really, really want to get the full benefit out of sort of practicing yoga, it's really about sort of bringing those practices into your day-to-day life as well. So that's why we were sort of covering all these observances and these guidelines, just to really give you an idea of how you can actually practice yoga as a more of a lifestyle type thing. So the second limb, as I said, is called Niyamas, and that's split into 5 Niyamas. So the first one is called Saucha, and Saucha is, I suppose you could translate it as being sort of pure or purity. I mean, obviously, if you look at it in terms of sort of like your thoughts, are your thoughts sort of, are the thoughts pure? But also, just be mindful of how you think about yourself and others. So, negativity isn't necessarily pure thoughts, and sort of anger and things like that. So if you find yourself sort of like really having negative thoughts about yourself, or sort of carrying that really heavy baggage and sort of really, really dragging yourself down, or sort of like, being unforgiving of yourself as well. So that's not really being very pure in your thoughts. So, just trying to find different techniques, and obviously yoga will help with that, but just ways of actually clearing those thoughts and puring, giving those pure thoughts, and being mindful of yourself, but also, have positive attitude towards yourself, but also to others as well. So, also, obviously that's sort of like the thoughts in terms of your body. Obviously cleanliness, having showers is a good one. But also, what you put into your body as well. Is your diet toxic? Obviously we go to thoughts being toxic as well, but is your diet toxic? Are you eating, too much sugar? Are you taking too much alcohol, drugs, that sort of thing? So really sort of purifying the whole body as well. That's all to do with being sort of pure in your thoughts and pure in the purity of Saucha as well. And obviously your physical surroundings as well. So not just your body, your physical, is everything clean? Is your mat clean? Do you clean it regularly? Is your workspace clean? Again, it just makes it much easier to actually be able to function in those sort of aspects as well. So, just sort of monitoring your thoughts, monitoring, how you're feeling, monitoring what you're actually putting in your body, being really mindful of that. So in terms of your yoga practice, it's a bit of a tricky one. I mean, sometimes if you think of it as, again, using the word mindfulness again, if you have, a really good example actually is things like the sun salutation. So the sun salutation tends to be very much like a rote. It's basically a mixture of asanas just put together, and you tend to do it as a flow. So you sort of tend to be, you do a sort of very gentle back bend, forward bend, into a lunge, upward dog, downward dog, and then back into a lunge. So it's basically like a system of just like different yoga asanas. So sometimes when you do it as sort of, as sort of an automatic thing in a class, you sort of tend to lose the benefit or the mindfulness of actually doing what each different asana is actually trying to achieve. So sometimes it's quite nice just to maybe break from the norm, and in your own time, maybe sort of just break down the actual sun salutation into its little component parts, which I do tend to do in my classes quite a lot, because I think it's quite nice just to be able to have a play around with each of those different components. So maybe in your yoga practice, you could try something like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to do a little video as well, just so that you can actually see the component parts and then break them down and have a play with them yourself as well, because there's lots of different options you can do, and you don't necessarily have to flow from one to the other. You can just basically take your time and then just really have a play around with it as well. So hopefully this has given you a little bit of food for thought, obviously non-toxic food, hopefully. So until next time, I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.